All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Athena, and I will be helping lead our structured Sunday service portion. A little bit about Psanctuary for those who may not have joined us before. Psanctuary is a 508c1a faith-based organization. We use psilocybin mushrooms as a sacrament to connect us to divinity. It is our sincere belief that the consumption of psilocybin-containing mushrooms is a communion, which brings us closer to what is commonly called God. We understand this concept as pure consciousness, which permeates all being. This pure consciousness is, we believe, the ineffable source of creation and the origin of health and well-being. Our faith in sacred mushrooms stems from prehistorical use by our ancestors and personal experiences of our modern members. It is our belief that psilocybin-containing mushrooms are one of the greatest sacraments that nature offers, raising our awareness so that we can access a direct connection to the source of life. We should not be mistaken for a medical or therapeutic organization. We encourage anyone facing trauma recovery or mental health issues to work in conjunction with a psychiatrist, psychologist, or accredited therapist. Our objective is to help and support you in reconnecting with the universal source of healing, your own divine spirit. As we get ready to begin today's service, we ask that you mute your mics if they are not muted already. We want to let you know this meeting is being recorded, which if you have any questions about, feel free to reach out privately. A portion of this service, we will invite you to journal. So now's a good time to grab a notebook and pen if you'd like to participate in that. And please do, if possible for you, find a comfortable space where you can relax and be present for the service. The service portion of our gathering is around 30 minutes of silent participation on your part, during which time we'll begin with a short meditation. We'll read the poem which the church has adopted as our acknowledgement of oneness with all that is, titled A Litany of Gratitude. A reading from our rotating text, currently Practicing the Power of Now, along with an opportunity to journal your thoughts around the reading. A reading from our main text, the Tao Te Ching. And after that, we'll bring the official service to a close and open it up to our optional discussion period led by Christine today, which we've allowed 90 minutes for until noon Eastern, and do invite you to participate if you feel called. With that, I'll begin opening up our service. Welcome and thank you for joining our sanctuary community in celebration. As we begin our statement of faith, we recognize that this statement does not exhaust the full extent of our faith. We believe that sacred mushrooms are a primary source of personal and divine revelation. We seek counsel from the mushroom to find direction and inspiration in our faith practice. And we believe that all individuals who seek true revelation from divinity can do so. I invite Courtney to lead us in our meditation this morning.
Thank you, Athena. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here this morning. I invite you to join me in a short, around 5-minute meditation this morning. So if you're not already in a comfortable position, I invite you to find a comfortable position wherever you might be. So I'll give us all a few moments to do this. And once you're seated or laying down, wherever you want to be for the next 5 minutes or so, I invite you to just do some body wiggles, shake out any coffee or tea energy this morning before we are sitting. All right, when you're ready, I invite you to take a few intentional breaths in through your nose. And breathe out fully through your mouth. In through your nose. And breathe out fully through your mouth. One more time, really settling in through your nose. And out through your mouth. From here on out, you can just breathe as you normally would. The intention of this meditation this morning is to send loving kindness to ourselves, those close to us in our lives, and our community here at Sanctuary in the world. So let's begin by tuning into ourselves right here and now in this present moment. Just take a couple moments to notice what we notice, whether that's sensations in our physical body, thoughts, or feelings. Let's just take a couple moments to notice what's here. I invite you to tap into a sense of gratitude, sense of peace and loving feelings. Really feel what it feels like to be in a place of loving kindness and compassion. Even if it's just a very small amount that we can summon in this moment, that small amount can have great implications. So I invite you to send yourself that loving kindness energy this morning. As we breathe, feel that loving kindness pulsing through our bodies. We can imagine with our mind's eye that loving kindness flooding our physical body and energy body. If you find you're having any trouble feeling these feelings of loving kindness, you might tap into your inner smile. Just imagine that smiling energy within. Now I invite us all to take this loving kindness energy and spread it out a little bit. You can imagine a friend or a loved one, a family member, someone that you're close to, and imagine this loving kindness energy sending directly to them. You can again use your mind's eye to visually see it moving, pouring out from ourselves into them. And imagine how their energy shifts as they feel this loving kindness energy moving through them from you. Continuing to breathe just as you normally would. I invite you to again expand this loving kindness energy out some more. Imagining our community here at Sanctuary, all the people on this Sunday service this morning, and all of those who couldn't make it this morning. I invite you to imagine this loving kindness energy that's pouring through you and that loved one. Just imagine it radiating out into our community, that sanctuary. Just feel what it feels like to be of assistance in spreading this peaceful, joyful energy. Continuing to breathe one more time, expanding out. Invite you to imagine this energy radiating out from our community here at Sanctuary into our global community. You might zoom out and see the globe as a little ball in front of you. Just watching how this energy spreads quickly and makes big shifts in our world. And continuing to breathe before we conclude this meditation. I invite you to really feel how you feel in this moment versus when you first came on to Sunday service this morning. I invite you to take this loving kindness energy into the rest of our service this morning and into discussion and into the rest of your day and week ahead. So before we open our eyes, again, let's take a few intentional breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Really coming back into the service space with each breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Give your fingers and toes some wiggles and a big stretch. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Courtney. And now I'd like to just take a moment to recognize our ministers who are partaking in our subtle sacrament today or any day alongside one another. And as we go into our litany of gratitude, I invite you to unmute your mics if you'd like, and join me when I say, we live in all things live in us.
We live in all things live in us.
We live by the sun, we feel by the moon, we move by the stars. We live in all things. All things live in us. We eat from the earth, we drink from the rain, we breathe of the air. We live in all things. All things live in us. We call to each other. We listen to each other. Our hearts deepen with love and compassion. We live in all things. All things live in us. We depend on the trees and animals. We depend on the earth. Our minds open with wisdom and insight. We live in all things. All things live in us. We dedicate our practice to others. We include all forms of life. We celebrate the joy of living and dying. We live in all things. All things live in us. We are full of life. We are full of death. We are grateful for all beings and companions.
All things live in us.
Thank you, everyone. If you would please resume your mute. We'll go into our first reading this morning with the help of Nancy.
Good morning, everyone. Practicing the Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, Chapter 6, Dissolving the Pain Body. The greater part of human pain is unnecessary. It is self-created as long as the unobserved mind runs your life. The pain you create now is always some form of non-acceptance, some form of unconscious resistance to what is. There are two levels to your pain: the pain that you create now and the pain from the past that still lives in your mind and body. This accumulated pain is a negative energy field that occupies your body and mind. It is the emotional pain body. Some people live almost entirely through their pain body, while others may experience it in certain situations, such as intimate relationships or situations linked with past loss or abandonment, physical or emotional hurt, and so on. Watch out for any sign of unhappiness in yourself. It may be the awakening pain body. This can take the form of irritation, impatience, a somber mood, a desire to hurt, anger, rage, depression, and so on. Catch it the moment it awakens from its dormant stage.
Thank you, Nancy. We'll now go into our reflection today. So if you have that journal and pen nearby, I do encourage you to write some thoughts down. And we have a prompt this morning. What are common triggers of the pain body for you? Do you recognize them as they arise or only later? We'll take about 5 minutes to reflect on this, and we'll come back together. I'd like to begin finishing up your thoughts. We'll start moving into our next reading. The paradoxical nature of life and its mysteries are best experienced through the ineffable space we find in our communion with the mushroom. For more than 2,000 years, the Tao Te Ching has provided guidance and instruction for exploring the paradox of existence. It is for this reason that we employ the Tao Te Ching as our primary sacred text and invite all to study it further as you delve deeper into the mystery of life. I invite Tristan to help us with our next reading.
The Tao Te Ching, Chapter 13. Welcome disgrace as a pleasant surprise. Prize calamities as your own body. Why should we welcome disgrace as a pleasant surprise? Because a lowly state is a boon. Getting it is a pleasant surprise, and so is losing it. That is why we should welcome disgrace as a pleasant surprise. Why should we prize calamities as our own body? Because our own body is the very source of our calamities. If we have no body, what calamities can we have? Hence, only he who is willing to give his body for the sake of the world is fit to be entrusted with the world. Only he who can do it with love is worthy of being the steward of the world.
Thank you, Tristan. All right, so we'll begin closing out our service portion today. I invite Courtney to help us with our announcements this morning.
Thanks, Athena. So this Wednesday, I will be hosting a women's sacred circle from 6 to 8 p.m. at Clifton Universalist Unitarian Church on Payne Street off of Frankfurt Avenue. We will begin with a meditation, followed by journaling and authentic relating activities, which is my jam. We'll be providing a safe and supportive container for sharing and listening. This event is at no suggested cost for official sanctuary members, and we ask a suggested $10 to $20 donation for non-members. For those attending, you may also pre-order a warm mug of herbal moon milk, perfect for balancing female energy following a powerful circle. So for all details, you can register via our events calendar, which you can find at sanctuary.org. Our vision at Sanctuary is to live in a world with supportive and joyful communities, empowered to discover their own divinity with sacred mushrooms and each other. Our new minister ordination programs are one huge step towards that vision. So this is a reminder that this coming Thursday, February 23rd, is the last day to register for our March minister cohort program dates. If you have been a member by 4 weeks by the program start dates, which is the week of March 6th, I believe, you can go ahead and submit your application for the next cohort, which runs from March through May. And these are for the Subtle Sacrament Minister Program and the Myself Minister Program, which includes a cultivation certification program to help empower you to grow and cultivate your own sacrament. We are so honored and grateful to be off to such a wonderful start with now 55 plus ministers in these programs. Becoming an ordained minister at these various levels gives our members the fundamental education, greater protection, and continuous support to administer sacred mushrooms to ourselves and friends and family who are also members. And that is all for our announcements.
Awesome. Thank you, Courtney. All right. Is James here for fundraising?
I am here, if only very briefly. So no huge updates this week. As always, thank you to everybody here, everybody who's an active member, everybody who's in the minister programs. That really does give the sort of stability and ability to do more that the church needs as we enter this new year and bring more and more people into the fold. There will be more updates in the weeks ahead, but I think for this week, if you've not yet tried either the subtle sacrament or the self-minister programs, that's a really powerful way to deepen your connection to the church and continue moving forward. And to those who are in the program right now, I would love to hear from you as the first cohort graduates. I think as we enter into these new chapters with more and more people, more and more deeply integrated into the core of what the church believes, there's going to be more opportunities for people to come together and support the church as well. So I would love to hear from people who have gone through the experience and see where you are and what you feel comes next for you. And I think that's probably enough for this week.
Wonderful. Thank you, James. All right. Stephen, with membership.
Good morning, everyone. We have 8 new members in this past week. We have Anya from Maine, Glenn from Alberta, Canada, Sean from Kentucky, Cameron from Kentucky, Adama from Kentucky, Mark from New York, Rebecca from North Carolina, and Nikki from Georgia. That's it. Welcome, everybody.
Yes, welcome. Thank you. And for those who are not yet members, who haven't taken that leap yet, you can find more information on our website, sanctuary.org, around that 5-step process. We're really excited to continue to welcome new members each week. All right, so we've come together with intentions of service to the land and all its inhabitants. It is in our hearts to go forth into the world with the collective consciousness. We encourage you to stay for continued fellowship and conversation around our readings today. And for those unable to stay, we thank you for being with us. As we further our conversation, please remember that all perspectives are welcome as we search for the spiritual truth that unites us all. And much love to everyone.